Gather around, island lovers. It's Demi and Jasmine with your fire pit chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. From Kelly.
From California. Dying on.
Not there, but
You what?
I'm not in California, but one of us is.
One of us is. Me. And oh my God, like tomorrow I will have some updates on the drowsy eye mask. I literally remembered at like 1 a.m. I was like, oh my God, need to go get my drowsy eye mask. So I like took her out of her little bed and I like put her in but she's like unwashed. But honestly, I'm des.
No. I mean, however you can get that beautiful drowsy sleep is however you'll get it.
Exactly. Okay, so Catherine and Scott were dealing with the aftermath of the kiss, which I think they're both on the same page. Like they both seem happy, but I will circle back to my thoughts about Scott at the end of the episode. Okay. So I really don't know. It's like fluff, but then it's never have I ever the game.
Yeah.
And some hot takes were Mehdi hooked up with his teacher. Mehdi was just all over this, but again, he's French.
But do we believe Mehdi?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that it's like he's French.
Yeah. This episode was the most French Mehdi's ever seemed. He wanted to get to know someone else while he was in a relationship. Hooks up with his teacher, hooks up with a 42-year-old woman in a relationship with her.
I was trying to remember the other one. And then the funny thing about Ty having like multiple threesomes.
One with his friend. So one with him, a guy and a girl, and another with two girls and him.
Right? Jeez.
So we know how he got to the 100. Sometimes he put them all together in one night.
He's so right. And then Zach says, never have I ever been two-faced in this villa. And I don't know why he said that. Like, he was just trying to start beef, but like no one was saying anything except for Mitch and then Mehdi.
Like Zach was out there trying to incite a riot, and I just didn't know where it came from. It was so out of pocket. I didn't know what his goal was. That because he's like, I feel like no one's being real, but then it's like, but Zach, you're not being real about who you think's not being real. Like, why doesn't he just? I feel like you're fake. And then we can get somewhere. He went such a roundabout way of saying everyone's not saying what they think to each other's faces. And he did the same thing.
Right. And then Ty says the never have I ever cheated. And Zach says not a flex, but it's been a couple times. And I did find it so weird why Jess and Ella were so like down his throat. Like Molly didn't care.
No, they were like they were like dogs with a bone. They were not giving that up. I was confused by like the gut reaction they had, because last time I checked, you guys didn't give a shit about Molly and Zach.
I really feel like Jess is not well.
No, and then she just randomly started sobbing to Mehdi in the middle of the episode, and I was just like, she really does seem not okay.
Right, like I think there was an unedited or unseen scene that she left and didn't want to film. She's so hung up on Sammy. You know what it's giving? Callum and what's her
Shauna.
name? Shauna. That really Jess and Sammy are.
Yeah, she's way more into Sammy than he is into her. He's enjoying this break that gives him freedom to get to know someone else, because I can't couple up with you, Jess. And Jess is over there, like, surviving.
I just can't believe how, like, upset she is about this. Like, and she's just not even trying, and she's just really upset. So I feel like she's just angry, and she, like, took it out on Zach and just, like, kept on hammering this once a cheater, always a cheater thing. And Molly didn't care.
No.
To that saying, it's like, I agree that if there is the right person, you don't cheat. Like, you just don't. You don't want to cheat.
Yeah.
But then again, there's the saying, you got him how you lost him, or whatever it is.
Like, my personal feelings on this are, if you cheated on, like, your high school girlfriend when you were 16, 17.
Right.
Okay, maybe not. But if you've if you've cheated more than once in multiple relationships, like across your early to mid 20s, but like Zach's so young, it could have been like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I think there's a very fine line. I want to do a blanket statement and say like once a cheater, over always a cheater, but I just am scared of getting canceled because like people can evolve.
Right.
But in my opinion, once a cheater, always a cheater.
I just think those people shouldn't be in relationships.
Right.
It's like you only cheat when you don't want to be with that person. So why the fuck are we in a relationship?
Right.
I never understood that. And like break up with the person before you do that. I mean, I'm so not for cheating, but I do think there is room for growth.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said like high school. If you're young and you're still figuring yourself out, I'm going to give you some grace if you cheated.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But then like, you know, people do cheat and they're like just unhappy in that relationship and then they get in a good relationship and they never cheat again. Like I've seen that in real life. So I don't know. Maybe I take it back.
I just think if you're cheating, you're with the wrong person. The end.
100%. Right. You're never cheating on your right person.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You respect them too much. You don't want to do that to them. If you cheat, you don't give a fuck about that person.
Totally.
Yeah. And then Ty brings Ella for the talk, which I actually am really fucking with them. I think they're just, like I said, so honest and real with each other. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool where he's like, I'll back you in person, in public, but in private, like I'm gonna tell you that some things aren't right. Like that's what your partner should be doing.
100%. I respect that. I really like that. He's supporting her in public and then telling her what he really thinks in private. That's how I would want to be treated in a relationship. So I liked that. I thought that was like a mature side of Tyreek, actually.
So like he impressed me in tonight's episode.
I agree. And Ella's going to say stuff because Ella does. Like, that's what we like Ella for. She's spicy, you know? So
exactly.
I wasn't like mad about her saying the thing about Zach. Like, that made sense to me that Ella was going to say something to Zach. What didn't make sense is Jess chiming in because Jess is like, tries to be friends with everyone.
Right.
So that caught me off guard. And then Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch needing to stick up for Molly and Zach. That was out of pocket. But again, Mitch is from Mars, so he doesn't know how to act like a human.
I mean, to an extent, I guess I get what Mitch was saying. He's like, I thought that was wrong, so I said it. But then there must be instances where he keeps his mouth shut for other people. Like he doesn't have maybe their back, and that's what they were feeling like. Like, people is always standing up for them too. But yeah, I don't know. Tyreek and Mitchell were having some beefy. I don't think they like each other.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, because Catherine was kind of being like, yeah, he's annoying too. And you know what? Like, we're all supposed to be super close in here, but we're just not.
I didn't believe that.
Yes. And she's like, I really do think she's one of the most logical people in that place.
Agreed.
But I think.
Yeah, she did say it. I thought Ella said it, but no, you're right. Catherine did say that.
Yeah, because Ella was complaining about it to her in the kitchen, and Catherine was kind of just like saying, like, just don't give it any mind because you're just like not going to get along with everyone, which is real. Like, you're not going to get a group of people together 24/7 and they're all going to be obsessed with each other. So I think at the end of the day, they like just Tyreek, Ella, Catherine, maybe some other people in there just like don't vibe with Mitch.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Mehdi goes to Leah. What?
Like, question mark?
What are we talking about here?
Leah was the first bombshell.
I was literally on the airport and I saw the first look and my Wi-Fi was going out and I couldn't finish the first look. All I saw was Mehdi and Leah and I was like, excuse me? What are we talking about here?
I just don't get
thrown off.
And Leah was like, I don't want to like completely shut it out, but you could tell she's like trying to keep an open mind, but for what? Because she's not interested.
I know. I didn't get that.
She's like keeping it safe just in case. Like she was basically like, if it's only Mehdi or go home, I guess I'll stay with Mehdi.
She did not want that at all.
But I liked what Whitney said so he brought it up to Whitney and she was just like, okay, like she had nothing really to say, which I don't what it and then Mehdi was getting annoyed at her that she didn't have enough to say. And Mehdi, what do you want her to say in that situation?
Part of me is wondering if Mehdi did this like as a test to Whitney.
Honestly, it's such a weird move. I just can't figure it out.
It was so weird. And then I think it just took her, honestly, he went rogue. Like, I died of laughter when she said that in the speech. Like, I thought her speech was so cute. And then he's like, even though he's obviously gone rogue, I bursted into laughter. Literally, like, that's what he did. What the hell are we talking about? I think honestly, she didn't even like, she's just like, okay, sure. And then her talking to Catherine and Scott, which I fucking like die for this trio. Like, every morning it's Scott, Catherine, and Whitney in bed. It's been like a couple days. And now I feel like they're just like such good friends, like where I just love their dynamic. And he's straight with them, and she then turns around to Montel. He's like, shit.
And Montel was
My
kind of like,
one-way ticket is now leaving.
yeah. And Montel was like, I mean, we were friends and now we're flirting, but like he was like, my cup runneth over. Like he couldn't handle one more girl in the mix.
It seems like they just had a combo of her maybe friend zoning Montel.
Yeah, that is what it seemed like. He's like, he got whiplash.
Whitney's getting whiplash. She's just passing it on to somebody else. Leah has whiplash. Everybody has whiplash from that scenario. We all do. I physically do.
No, seriously, my neck hurts. My head hurts. I'm confused. But I do like what Whitney said to Catherine and Scott when they were like, oh, Leah's not into Mehdi. She's into Montel. And then Catherine's like, well, you better score and then come back to me.
Right.
Don't be shooting goals and then come back to me like no one wants you. Who am I with?
Dying of laughter at that.
Dying. And so true. I feel that same way. Like if you're going to go talk to other girls, they better be obsessed with you. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, no, you know what? Jasmine was the best or whatever.
Right.
Then, like, I feel that for Whitney. She's like, no, don't come back to me because Leah doesn't want anything to do with you.
Right.
I don't know. I think Whitney's going to try to make this work, but I think like that trust is broken. Like I think her guard's right back up.
But then the speech
was surprising to me because the speech seemed like she wants it, but like my gut is saying that was just the speech. Like, I don't know.
I was thrown at the speech.
Do you think that Mehdi regretted doing that after? Because when he tells the boys, he's kind of like, I fucked up.
Yes. I think he said, I fucked it. And they were, I don't think he wanted to end things with her.
Right.
I think he's actually genuinely interested in Whitney. I do. The way he was smiling in reaction to what her speech was, like, so I was like, what's Whitney gonna do? What's her speech gonna be? And it was really nice. It was thoughtful. Mm-hmm. And like, they're affectionate. They're super affectionate before that happens. So I do feel like she probably like, I just opened up and this is her version of opening up. So anyway, we'll see how that unfolds. But I was surprised at that recoupling speech. Cause then I'm like,
right.
Cool with it?
Right. And like, why are you cool with it? Like, don't be cool with it. Like, don't settle.
Right.
Because it just, where did this come from with Mehdi? Like, he's never expressed any interest in getting to know anyone else. And Leah, who's been in the villa practically this whole time that he's been with Whitney.
I know. But then he said he's like, I've been unsure for a couple days now.
Right. But then he didn't say that to Whitney. Like, I'm unsure about us. I want to see what else is out there. It was just weird. It was so weird. Mehdi's moving mad.
Yeah. And then Molly and Zach go on their dates, and it did look like they had a lot of fun, but to be honest, like that date I would be so mortified in head to toe knee pads, and a helmet and blades. It reminds me of this fucking time I don't know if I told you when my dad took my sister and I to the skate park when we were little, and we had okay, so the skate park where all these guys are fucking skateboarding and doing shit.
In van.
Right. We're two little girls and we have pink teddy bear pads on our elbows, our knees, pink helmet, and pink rollerblades. And we roll up and I'm like, I literally think about that moment all
in
the
this skate park.
And so like that, but I think they're really cute. I do think they like each other. I have nothing more to say to that.
Honestly, like they seem super into each other. So I'm happy for them. They're a little boring. Like I'm just gonna let them fly. Like they're just gonna be that couple that's there.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Sammy and Mal have the chat and then Jess starts crying over it. Which Mehdi was really cute and such a good friend with that. But what is going on?
I feel like Jess has seen what she's needed to see and she should.
But she's like, not, it's not in a way where she's done. It's in a way where she wants to get back with him.
If anything, it's making her want him more.
Exactly. Cause they're like, yeah. And the friends are hyping her up to be like, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. You can regroup. It's like, what?
Yeah, this is going to make you guys stronger than ever when you get back together. Stop. You're not helping her.
No.
Like, I hate when friends, like, I get it. The intentions are good. She's sad. You want to make her feel better. But, like, just break it down to her honest. Give her some hard, honest facts. Like, he is giving you a bouquet of red flags. Really? Accept them and run in the opposite direction.
Exactly. I mean, now to the recoupling, Montel chooses Leah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mal goes with Sammy, which I do think they look really good together. Like, I just feel like they work. They don't. It's Callum and Shauna. They don't work. They don't work.
It doesn't. The power dynamic has been off from the beginning. Like, Jess always liked Sammy more. Sammy always knew that. It's just, it wasn't going to play out good for Jess. And I think Sammy and Mal, like, match energies a little bit more. Like, Sammy's got to be with a weird girl. He wants to be with like a funny girl, but I feel like they're like more equally attracted to each other, that it could like match better. Mal did tone her weird voice thing down this episode and she seemed like more normal.
I felt the opposite. I thought it was like deeper and more.
Yeah, her voice is very unique. Very,
very. But I find a vibe with them. And then Ty and Ella, good. Whitney and Medhi, I'm sure. Jess and Mitchell and Zach and Molly, which it's just like, even when Jess sits down, you can just see like a comfort level with Mitch. Mm-hmm. Like, but she's so, I don't know what's gonna happen with them. Like, I don't know what Jess is gonna do. I hope she doesn't. It will take Sammy ending it brutally.
100%. He's gotta like fuck her over at this point, I think. Exactly. For her to get the picture, because he can't like downplay it and just be like, oh, I don't know, let's see what happens. Because then she's gonna hold out hope. And I think what's gonna happen is she's gonna be so fixated on Sammy that she won't be able to get into something else, because she's just gonna be trying to get back with Sammy.
She was saying that to Mehdi, and I kind of got nervous that she was thinking about leaving the show.
It did seem like that, because she was like, I can't give anyone else 100%.
Which is so sad for Jess.
It's still like early in the season, Jess. There's plenty of...
You would not think this.
You know? Like, she's acting like it's week 7.
It's week 3, and the shit that they're living like 3 Love Island summers, though.
Oh my God. They're living like 12 Love Island winters.
I know.
This season is brought the goods. And then the bombshell. Oh, all the guys are going to go wild for her. Do you see how cute she is?
It's unreal.
So all the guys whose types are brunettes, Sammy is going to be obsessed with her.
I'm thinking Scott's head's like his head is. So at the end, where they were sitting there, I
Right.
felt like Scott like didn't want to be in the couple anymore. Like that's the vibe I got from him just kind of sitting like all the couples were holding hands and he was not affectionate. Like and he was not giddy.
His body language was off. Yeah,
Right.
it totally was. Also, so now we can circle back and let's talk about Scott, Catherine, Leah for a second. Because in the beginning of the episode, when they showed the recaps, they showed Scott telling Leah right before he kissed Catherine, I don't want you to think I'm only leaning towards Catherine. I still want to get to know you. Then he goes straight to Catherine, tells Catherine he is swaying towards her, and kisses her. So it was very playa. He's playing the game.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. I didn't really realize he said that to Leah.
You could tell she's kind of bothered because her facial reactions are like, they just like, even when Catherine's talking on the terrace in the morning, she doesn't really say anything. Like she's bothered by that situation, I think.
I mean, if it happened to Catherine and the roles were reversed and he took, I'm sure Catherine would be like, that's weird and annoying. But like, I feel bad for Leah. She's like, good luck, Chuck. Like,
oh my God. Yeah, she really is.
It's just like whoever she's with, like they just couple up with the other part of the love triangle and they just get on with them. But I do think Scott is playing the game a little bit. So I think now it seems like he's really into Catherine, but I do think his head could be easily turned. I really don't trust him.
I think he's rolling on the fucking floor when that girl comes in.
Yeah, and they would look really good together.
Unreal.
I just think Catherine almost deserves better than Scott. Because he's not like
to come in for Catherine, no one else. And I feel like it might be a Casa guy if she makes it there. I feel like she'll have 2 more couples by the time Casa comes.
It's interesting because Scott was between Leah and Catherine, and it kind of seemed like Montel was between Leah and Catherine for a second there. But Montel chose first, and he did choose Leah.
The way that also was going, I was like, oh my God, is he choosing Catherine?
Yeah, I kind of thought he might. Yeah. But I guess her and Scott were seeming kind of strong, so maybe he just didn't want to like,
I don't know,
get in between that if it wasn't going to work out in his favor. And Leah's a sure bet.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready for tomorrow.
I'm so excited for the bombshell.
Oh my God. I wish we got more. I wanted to see heads. I wanted to see reactions. But
yeah, all the boys are going to go for her.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Tyreek might stay loyal weirdly.
He will.
And Zach, maybe. Damn. I'm so excited to see how it all plays out.
Damn. I don't know. He really likes Molly, but this bitch is like,
she's next level.
Yeah.
And her personality, she's a firecracker. Like, she's going to bring it.
If she wanted to go for him, like, I wonder what's going to happen.
Her type, like, the guy she was coupled up with last time she was on was, like, kind of giving Scott. Like, I want to say he was, like, a brunette with lighter eyes.
Fucker, Zoom call's going to end.
Oh, okay. We gotta go.
Later, guys. Thank you guys
Bye.
for listening to Fire Pit Chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. I'm your host, Demi, and this is Jasmine, and we appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review and share with your fellow island lover. And we'll see you tomorrow in this same janky situation.
See ya.